Yes, yes, we can.
Okay, so first of all, welcome to the Hustler Show.
Thank you so much.
Actually, we would like to tell our audience what the Hustler Show is. It is a platform where we invite, the seasoned entrepreneurs who would come and share their journey, their insights about entrepreneurship, and so that the young and the budding entrepreneurs also learn from their mistakes, from their success stories, what it feels like to be an entrepreneur in real life. So, again, welcome to the Hustler Show. This is the third episode. And here we have on our platform today Ms. Rashi Agarwal, the co founder and CBO at Zypp Electric. Zypp Electric, which is India's leading dockless EV as a service platform. And when we talk about Zypp, first of all, we have to talk about the recent achievement at Zypp, where we would like to tell our audience that Rashi has been included in the Fortune India list, 40 under 40, and we would really, it's really an overwhelming feeling. So congratulations about that, Rashi.
Thank you.
And we would like to know, like, what is this feeling like? When were you informed of this news? How did you receive this? And what was this feeling of, getting in the list for Fortune?
Yeah, it was an amazing feeling. Of course, it's always good to be noticed and given, you know, the accolades, respect that you obviously would want to have. So definitely a great feeling, and I'm very thankful to Fortune, to consider me in that list. So yes, I think a long way to go, and this is one of the achievements that I can tick mark in my list.
Yeah, yeah, like one tick in the bucket list.
Oh yes,
That's done.
yes, yes.
Yes. So basically, I think fortune would something is something that would give you the fame that or zip the fame that it requires, but definitely not everybody is aware of the efforts and the hard work that has been in the process. Like सबको नहीं मालूम how did your journey begin at Zip? When did you associate with Zip? So we would really like to know about that कि आपकी जर्नी जिप के साथ कैसे शुरू हुई. What is this your first startup experience, or you had some entrepreneurial experience before? So how did this all begin?
Sure, Garima. So let me take you a little, before Zip. So it's been 50. So you have to bear with my cough. I'm
It's
having a
okay.
bad cough. Yeah. So it's been 15 years that I'm working, and I started my career at a very initial stage of my life. I was 22
Okay.
years old. I did not even finish my MBA, but I got the first placement, one of the first placements from my college, and so I started working like 8 months before my MBA got over. So I started working with a company called Standard and Poor's, Capital IQ.
Yeah.
There I worked for 7 years, and
Hmm.
I left that company after becoming one of the senior research associates, and I was doing pretty decent. But I think coming from a business family, and that is something that I think every person today or in their life sometime excuse me, have discussed, to do something apart from your regular work, to do some business, so
Yeah.
I started Let's Flaunt. That was my first business, which I
Okay.
started in 2014. This that business was doing pretty well for me. I worked for almost 4 years in that business. It was quite profitable. I had a team of some, 50, 60 people, doing well, growing at a very fast pace. But I knew that that business had a life, and it was
Hmm.
a very scattered market because I was into a customized offering, through e-commerce. So basically, it was a
Okay.
fashion portal, and it was more about providing customized T-shirts, or posters, or wall clocks, or
Okay.
slippers. So
Okay.
that was the offering, which was. So I felt when I started Let's Flaunt that this is a very, cluttered market, and somebody should started in a very a proper way, so that's the reason Let's Flaunt started. But then this market is very cluttered, and I thought that there will be some I will be stuck after some time, that the kind of social impact I wanted to create through business
Hmm.
was not there. That was the clear visibility I had. So while I
Yeah.
was working, I was always in a lookout for more options, because that contentment was not there. And Akash, while my better half and the CEO of Zypp Electric, he was
Yeah.
working with MobiQuick that time, and we both were
Hmm.
always um, always looking out for more options. So it didn't happen that after Les Flaunt I just jumped to Zip, or
Hmm.
Akash just after MobiQuick jumped to Zip. We tried a lot many other businesses which probably would have
Hmm.
died down at the idea stage, or at the stage of R&D, or at the stage of a little higher level. But then none of those businesses could take the shape of a proper company. And then Zip Electric happened. So I still remember, so I was out with my friends, and Akash was doing his everyday process of doing R&D on the business,
Hmm.
for the search of that one business that we both wanted to do. And then he came up with this idea, and he told me about this idea. And then at first place I thought that's crazy, but yes, I agreed that it has a crazy social impact that it can
Yeah.
create. And this can be a next big thing that we can do in the country, because the very
Hmm.
major problems that today we are facing is, of course, sustainable mobility. I mean, has to be a choice in the coming
Absolutely.
days, right? So that was the idea with the pollution and the you know excuse me, with the crazy pollution and the high prices of petrol, I thought that this is one of those businesses that have that potential. And hence we both started. We put all our eggs in one basket. I left my very established business. Akash left his
Hmm.
very established job, and we both started Zip Electric. So that's how Zip Electric happened.
So actually, in the beginning, it was not really Zip. It was started with Mobisi. We have done.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So,
Yeah.
so yes. So the idea was still the same, that pollution was a problem,
Hmm.
and petrol prices were the problem. We started with the concept of cycles.
Yeah.
It was the concept of shared mobility, wherein people, while traveling from short distances, traveling from one place to another, can take those cycles and you know. Go for a shorter routes at a very lower
Hmm.
price, and hence also
Hmm.
save some kind of pollution. And we can make mobility more available to the customer.
Yeah.
So that was the whole idea. But while working on this cycle concept, of course, we pivoted to electric vehicles because of many
Hmm.
factors. Maybe we thought that the country was not ready for cycles, because of
Yeah.
the infra problems, or because of the
Hmm.
seasonality, because of the summers. So that's how the electric vehicles happen. And it's been almost now 3 years that we are fully doing last mile delivery and rental business through
Hmm.
electric vehicles.
Yeah. So it began with the cycle sharing model, and now this is the giant Zip umbrella under which it has all the services, like be it the last mile delivery, be it the bike sharing, the taxi services, or even we have heard recently that the battery swapping stations that are there under the umbrella of Zip. So I would like to ask you, Rashi, that this is how the model of Zip is working. Like it has managed to provide all its services under this one roof. But I would also like to ask you that is it viable for any emerging startup to provide so many services through a single platform, because it requires a lot of capital, it requires a bigger team and stuff like that. So what do you think? How much sustainable it is for a young startup to experiment with such kind of diversification?
So
What do
very
you
well
think?
said, Garima. I don't think any startup should enter a lot of variability to their
Mhm.
business, and so is Zip Electric is very focused on only two offerings right now. right? One is the last mile delivery, and second is the
Mm-hmm.
subscription model. These are the two offerings that we are providing to our customers. Battery swapping is just a support system for our running business, which we are providing
Okay.
only at the fine places. But that's not something
Okay.
that we're looking as a business. Our business is
Mm-hmm.
mostly the subscription model and the last mile delivery model. And I in fact would like to suggest all the people watching here that you should always focus on your core business and should never
Mm-hmm.
diverge into too many activities while you're doing your business, because that will be the recipe for failure. So should always
Yeah.
focus on the core.
Yeah, exactly,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes.
Also, Rashi, as we were talking about the, the fortune achievement and the, the giant model of Zip, like how it's working, the business operations and everything. So I would like to ask you, like, what are those essential skills that every entrepreneur must possess? Like, जैसे हम स्कूल से देखते आ रहे हैं कि कोई पर्टिकुलर रूट नहीं है, कोई पर्टिकुलर कोर्स या डिग्री नहीं है कि ऐसे ये कर लो तो एंटरप्रेन्योर बन जाओगे आप। ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। लाइक इवन स्टूडेंट्स जो स्कूल में पढ़ रहे हैं, दे डोंट नो कि क्या स्ट्रीम चूज करेंगे तो एंटरप्रेन्योर बन जाएंगे, या किस कॉलेज में चले जाएंगे तो एंटरप्रेन्योर बन जाएंगे। ऐसा कोई कोई फिक्स रूल नहीं है, कोई फिक्स पाथ नहीं है उनके लिए। तो व्हाट डू यू थिंक कि क्या वैल्यू सिस्टम एक बच्चे को शुरू से इनकलकेट करना चाहिए अपने अंदर, सो दैट दे सी देमसेल्व्स एज एन एंटरप्रेन्योर 10 years डाउन द लाइन, और क्या वो स्किल सेट होना चाहिए?
I think it's a very I mean, this point itself is really very big, and there are multiple sessions people take on this one point, that
Exactly,
what should
exactly.
an entrepreneur inculcate, or what those features that an entrepreneur should have. And I think
Mhm,
the first and the foremost thing which anybody should have to start a business is passion. If
mhm,
you're passionate about something, then only you can do something. Otherwise, I don't think you'll be able to sustain it. If you just do it for the heck of doing, or because you think it's a new fad in today's world, and you just want to do it because everybody else is doing, then I don't think that's really a good idea. So
yeah.
first of all, passion, because without that, you will die down very fast, right? Second is perseverance. So, perseverance, without perseverance, no business can sustain, because you have no idea how much ups and downs a business go through, and what the founders
Mhm,
has to go through because of that. And if you're not perseverant, if you give up easily, then I think business
mhm.
is not for you. So perseverance is another very core factor that you need to have. And I
Yeah.
feel, see, there are a lot of I would say there are a lot of things that you require to be an entrepreneur, but two, 3 points which I feel are must have in any entrepreneur to kickstart is, of course, when I mentioned, passion, which is the core to start anything. The second is perseverance, because
Mm,
otherwise you won't be able to sustain. And third is discipline, because
yes.
again, you have to be very, very disciplined. You have to
Mm,
ensure that every day you are at it, every day you're making a difference, you're making a small change in what you're
yeah.
doing, and you have to be keep on improving. you know this is very, very critical, because people get bogged down very easily, which should not
Mm,
be there. you know
yeah.
and another point which just struck my mind is that fail fast and learn fast, and make the change. That is, again, as you rightly mentioned, that we started with Mobisi and then we pivoted to electric
Mm,
scooters. In fact, when we did electric scooters, we started with rental, and then we also moved to last mile delivery during the times
mm,
of COVID, because we thought that that's like a great market to capture.
yeah.
So you need to keep on learning, improvising. I mean, even if you're failing, just fail, learn from it, and improvise. Don't sit at it.
Exactly.
Don't sit with it and think that you're stuck, because that's one of the key ingredients that you need to have to run your business, because change is
Exactly.
inevitable. You need to make changes
Mm,
in your business, you need to make changes in your everyday life, your way of working. Otherwise, you will be stagnant.
yeah, exactly. It's like, going with the flow. You don't have
Exactly.
to
I mean,
sit
you
down
need
at
to
some.
believe in what you're doing, and
Yeah.
you need to make small changes, which needs to improve your business with every passing. I'm not saying that you just keep on changing what you're doing. You know, you obviously can't do that.
Mm,
If you believe in something, you started something. You know, you need to, of course, do that, believing and to stick with it. But then you need to keep on, updating it with little changes which you get from your learning of day-to-day work.
absolutely, absolutely. I agree with you on this point that things do not remain the same throughout your journey. So you will have to continue evolving.
Yes.
So from there only, I would like to ask you, Rashi, that actually it is a serious question, quite unlikely for our show. But I would like to ask you, like, how does it feel when you belong to a minority? Like as per the reports, we see that the share of women entrepreneurs in India is a mere 13%, and not just India. We when we talk about it, on a global scale, even in the US, the share is just 16%, 17%. So when you see half a population getting a share of just 13%, 15% in this entrepreneurial field, this area, how do you feel about this? Like, do you feel that yes, there is a difference, or this is an area that we should talk about and we should come out more openly? या फिर you feel कि नहीं, this is not, there is no difference, the opportunities are there for all. It is a field that it doesn't matter, because till now abhi tak I have not seen any difference that I'm talking to a woman entrepreneur or so. हमारे साथ और भी लोग जुड़े हैं इस शो में, और आई डोंट फील कि आपसे बात करते हुए आई फील दैट नो, दिस इज सम डिफरेंट माइंडसेट or anything different. So how do you feel about this?
So, first of all, to answer your question, how do I feel about this as a woman? I think I feel privileged to be
Mm,
among that 13% crowd which is able to make it, or at least trying to be there where, most of the people could not reach, right? So,
mm,
obviously, being a woman, um, as you rightly said, that is it difficult for a woman? I think yes.
mm,
I would be very blunt about it. It is definitely difficult for a woman compared to a man, because there are different levels, in their lives where they have to compromise. So, the
mm,
contrary thing is that when there's a time of their life to have growth, that is the time
mm,
where the biological cycle is ticking as well, right?
mm.
And they always have to either make choices. See, it is
Yeah.
very important for families to support them, right? If they do not get the support, I mean, it is difficult to fight it all,
Mm,
be there where you are, and to be, doing, keeping everybody happy. So I personally feel that, you need not to keep everybody happy. You're not a superwoman. You're just
mm,
a woman who is doing their bit for the country, and that's how you should take things, and live with it. Never should feel guilty about not giving enough time to your kid, because
mm,
give quality time. It's not about giving them the entire day, but maybe if you give them 2 hours of your day, but that's quality, that's good enough. So as a woman, I feel families really need to support their women to come and shine, because
mm,
I think women have two very important traits which are required for a business. One is they're multitasking, and this
yeah,
never nobody can really question and argue about
absolutely.
that. Women are multitasking, and they are one of those disciplined and hardworking people. That
Be it
that
at any field, any job, they are.
that is there in their DNA,
Yeah.
that they would be disciplined, they would be hardworking, and they would have a multitasking trait. And I think these
Mm,
three traits are, I mean, amazing to have in any business, and that can really shoot the growth of any business to any level. So I think it is very important for women to be there to grow the company's,
mm,
GDP. Uh,
mm,
and I would say, women has to be now more confident, and they has to come up, they have to be themselves. It is very
mm.
important because it is them who have done the hard work, and because of their perseverance they are where they are. So
Yeah.
don't be afraid to ask for help if it is required, but just be at it.
Yeah, absolutely. Then also, Rashi, like, how did you feel, all these, young startups, and we have actually seen that the proportion is growing. It's not like we are going back. It's not a regressive growth, but a progressive one. That we see more women entrepreneurs coming on board,
Yes.
more women CEOs coming, taking the charge, taking the lead. And how do you feel that the Indian startup ecosystem is enabling that? Do you see any difference in the environment, or do you think that this is going to be difficult for them as well?
See, I think if you have seen the Shark Tank this time, there were so many
Hmm.
women who came,
Yeah,
and that
yeah.
was really a surprising.
I
I mean, I
think almost 50% of them had their women CEOs.
Oh yes, and I
Yeah.
was amazed to see that there were so many women who came to Shark Tank. So I think the ecosystem is definitely growing, and
Hmm.
women is definitely growing. Today, the women is much more financially independent, and she has a I mean much better position in her family than what it was earlier in terms of
Hmm.
having a say in the family. So I think we are growing, and definitely the future is very bright for women as well.
Yeah, yeah. I think so. The same, that it's actually a progressive growth, if we
Oh,
say.
yes,
Yeah.
100%, 100%.
Yeah, and apart from the challenges as a female entrepreneur, what other challenges did you experience while at your previous, startup, and this one at Zip? What do you think? What are the other different challenges that one will experience, and you cannot shy away from them?
So, see, I am one of those, maybe I would say a privileged one who did not face challenges which probably the other women
Hmm.
entrepreneurs would have challenged because, I have a lot of support of my family, and I've been doing this from the last 7 8 years. So I'm there in the market. I know how things are run, and I've been there. So I would say that the basic challenges would obviously always be there. When you have to create a balance between personal life and professional life, being a woman, because I was also pregnant during my 3 years back I was pregnant when my company just started, and I mean I still remember coming to office every day till the ninth month, till the last day of my delivery, and after 7 days of my delivering my baby I started working. So those are those challenges which you cannot, I mean that's the choice that you have made, and that's something
Hmm.
that I mean I have no qualms about. I'm very happy that I was always on top of things. I was always working. I didn't I mean, that's something that's not a challenge really. That's a choice that a woman has. I mean, as a woman, I have taken. As far as my understanding is concerned, uh, these are the only challenges which probably I had faced. But these are not really the challenges. I would say these are something that I wanted to you know have. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. And contrary to the challenges, like what do you think are the fun moments or the kick moments when you say that this is the reason why I'm working at it, why I'm continuously I have this perseverance because of this factor. What are those moments?
See, coming from a Banya family, coming from a business family, there are a lot of, beliefs that people
Hmm.
have around women. That
Hmm.
I mean, it is very. See, obviously my family was supportive, but I have people around me, my relatives, my friends,
Yeah.
family, the basic culture of being coming from this kind of a community that women should settle down, get married, have
Hmm.
kids, and enjoy their lives. And that is one thing which really used to annoy me. I really wanted to create an individuality for myself. I really wanted to
Hmm.
do something more larger than life, and that is what kept me going. That is what made me always be on my toes and keep on looking out for more and better, options wherein I can grow as an individual, where I can do something for the country, where I can do
Hmm.
something for myself and for my family. So that's how that's what motivates me, keep me motivated all the time.
Yeah, so that is actually quite encouraging also that we are doing something, trying to do something, build a name that others would say, that the next generations would also look up to.
I
That
mean, Garima, more than anybody else, I feel it is very important for me
Mhm.
to have this for my daughter. I would want her to know, that I mean, she should say that I am my mom's daughter. So that's one thing
Yeah,
which I would definitely want to have as my checklist. So yes,
yeah, absolutely. And one day it will be.
of course, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
We are working hard towards it. Why not?
Absolutely, yeah. Also, actually, on as for this section, my last question would be: this is a question that every person who's starting out would have in their mind. Like, how does an entrepreneur work? What is their lifestyle like? Like, there is no 9 to 5 hours fixed that this is your job. You have to come at 9, leave at 5. So there's no boss to report to. So what is the routine like? As you rightly mentioned, the discipline is one of the most important skills, or the most important, rule that everyone must have in mind, that they should be disciplined. Because there is no, people might get a little inconsistent. They might feel like not working, and they might just be for weeks or months that they're not working at it. So how do you feel? What is your routine like? Are there any fixed working hours, or is it constantly in your mind 24/7? You wake up at night thinking about an idea, sharing it with your co-founder and others in your team, and like, how does this work?
So, see, I would like to first get a little. I mean, I would like to give one more insight about to all the
Hmm.
entrepreneurs there. That if ever you're planning to start your journey of your business, then I would suggest just don't jump into it. If you're doing a
Hmm.
job or you are doing something, I would say that passion is good and it is very important to believe in what you want to do, but then it has to have a gradual process first of all,
Yeah.
because it's a lonely journey, Garima. And if
Hmm.
you just jump into it and then you completely get lost, then it can be very demotivating. It can really pull you back,
Hmm.
right? So I would always say that. So how I started my less flaunt journey when I started my first venture while doing my job, I just did not jump into it like after my corporate life got over. I worked 18 hours a day. While I was doing my
Hmm.
job, I was also working at Let's Flaunt. I established Let's Flaunt. I was coming back home, giving my weekend, giving my extra, resting hours to my business. I was working on it. And once I felt like I have got some, base created for
Yeah.
myself, then I left my job and moved to my business, because otherwise, because, once you start making money, it
Hmm.
becomes very difficult for you to suddenly not make anything and to look up to somebody for
Yeah.
money. You have to be always financially independent, because that can again become very, very challenging for you. So that is one advice I would like to give to all the people there, that move at a gradual pace to what
Hmm.
you want to do. Just don't jump into it, because it's trust me, being an entrepreneur is a very, very lonely journey, and there are a lot of ups and downs, and every second day when you'll get up, you'll probably think of
Yeah.
giving up on it. That's what we have felt many times, when we had very difficult times in our business, that you
Hmm.
know but then we have to be at it. So, and coming to your second question about discipline and about
Yeah.
working hours, so I would say, I don't believe in the concept of having a
Hmm.
balance between personal and professional life. There's no
Hmm.
concept like this, you know there in the world. If you're working, and especially if your better half is also working in the same profession as yours, then you
Hmm.
just forget about having a personal life and a professional life balance. So I don't think we have any such concept lying in our lives. And I think there's no time to work. I mean, in the morning after getting up, you discuss business. While sleeping, you discuss business. And that's how the business life is, because you have to put in a lot of effort. You have to work really hard. You have to let go of your family functions or
Hmm.
festivities, or you have to
Yeah.
compromise on your family, friends get togethers. That is given. And you will get a lot of you know uh, bad mouths from your family for this, but you have to live with it. You have to gradually make them understand that this is something that
Hmm.
your family has to live with it. So yes, I think you have to give it all, Garima.
Yeah,
That's how it is.
absolutely. Yeah,
Yes.
I think especially, I am on a very personal note. I feel that when entrepreneurship is drawn into the drawing rooms of the Indian population through shows like Shark Tank and everything, people are getting, even children, I see in my family young kids talking about startups, talking about unicorns, this is an ecosystem which is slowly getting ingrained in the minds of Indian population कि हाँ ये भी कुछ है, this is also something valuable, this is also something new and different and important as well. So I think जब ये होने लगता है तो एक काफी romantic notion दिमाग में बन जाता है that this is all very rosy, this is all
It's not
going to be
rosy at
very,
all.
yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah, so this is how shows
You
like
have
The Hustler
you
Show
have
would
to
like
burn
to,
midnight oil like
yeah,
for years.
yeah, yeah. So that is why, we need to look up to and talk about, on a very personal level with entrepreneurs like you and Akash at the Zip, that how entrepreneurship feels, experiences like in real life. So yeah, this was our first section, Rashi, with you, the Q&A section. Now we move to the second part. That is the hustler sprint. We would like to call. It's like a rapid fire. Two
Okay.
options. Yeah, two
You didn't
options.
mention this before. I'm very scared of rapid fires. Okay, go ahead.
No,
Yeah.
nothing of that sort. Just a simple one. 4 5 questions. So I will give you two choices. You will have to pick one within a fraction of second, like this.
Okay.
So yeah, now that okay, let me first ask you. What would you choose, fame or money? Considering that you have received suddenly a massive amount of fame with the Fortune 40 and the 40 mention, that what would you choose, like fame or money?
Fame.
Fame. Yeah, funding or bootstrap?
Bootstrapped.
Okay, debt or equity?
Equity. Uh,
Profit. Hmm.
uh, Actually, debt.
Okay, okay. Profitability or scalability?
Scalability.
Okay. Working with a bigger team or a smaller team?
Bigger team.
Okay. What about a holiday? Would you like to spend a holiday at home or going out with your friends and family?
Anytime going out with friends and family.
Okay. And how do you function? Are you a morning person or a night owl?
Nowadays, I'm a morning person. I'm trying to get up at 5 in the morning. Uh,
Oh,
but I mean, initially I wasn't, but these days I'm
hmm.
trying to.
Okay. I would like to ask you that what would you choose if you have an extraordinary idea which is not yet tested in the market, or an ordinary idea which already has a lot of users?
See, ideas are in dozens. Ideas
Hmm.
are only valuable when they are executed well. So
Hmm.
I feel execution is what matters, not the idea.
Okay, that's a smart answer, I would say. Any one business legend that you would like to mention that you follow?
Indra Nooyi.
Oh yeah. Have you read her, or are you a book person? Because I have just
I
recently
don't
read
have
her.
time. I try to, though I am, but I really don't
Mhm.
have time these days. And
Okay.
yes, I would love to read her autobiography.
Yeah, because I recently read it and it's actually very interesting,
Yeah.
learning about her experiences and everything. It is. Yeah, and any one new age startup that you would like to mention apart from Zip that is going to make a mark in the Indian society in the coming years? Any other startup?
Any other startup?
Yeah.
I think A lot of startups are there. I mean, so
Or any
many good.
field of startups, any particular
I
area
mean,
that you would.
recently I have invested in two companies. I
Okay.
feel so. One of them is automation. The other is basically into drone delivery. So I feel that they
Okay.
have a big future, right? And I feel that that can really be next big thing in the country.
Yeah, absolutely. And what about your favorites, like any favorite book or movie that you would like to recommend to the viewers?
As far as the movie is concerned, Forrest Gump is my favorite movie. Um,
Okay.
the book, I can't think of any right now, honestly, because I'm really not in touch of books these days. But I'm
Uh,
sure I have my favorites. Not that I can think of any right now.
okay. Okay, it's okay. Your favorite tourist destination?
My favorite destination, Europe.
Oh,
It's
beautiful.
beautiful.
It is. Yeah. And one code that you follow, or you would recommend to others to follow.
One quote. Um, I think. uh, I feel that everyone has their own, path, a journey, and
Mm-hmm.
everyone reaches. So this is not a quote, basically. It's just something
Yeah.
that I would say that it should not be judged because everyone reaches their journey in a very different way, and everyone has their own path to reach there. So we
Mm.
should respect everybody's journey to reach where they have to reach.
Yeah. Kafi mature words. Yeah. That's
You're
true.
asking
That's
such
true.
questions. What can I say, Garima? I
Yeah.
never thought of this, but yeah, you asked me, so I had to
Mm.
say something.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much, Rashi. For the last statement, we would like to have from you. We would like to, want you to complete this line. Hustle, but do not forget to dash. What would you like to suggest?
Hustle,
But do not forget to and dash.
but do not forget to be a good human being.
Hmm. Yeah.
I mean, you have to also be a person, who is kind by your acts. You
Hmm.
might grow to what you want to in life, but always be a person who is very down to earth, and
Hmm.
keep your basics always intact with you.
Yeah. That is very true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I would say thank you so much, Rashi. It was really a very fun, loving, and a very good learning experience for me. To
Same here,
connect with.
Garima. The questions you asked, uh, they were again very interesting, and I mean, everyone learns from each other, and yes,
Yeah.
I also learned some good points from you. So thank you very much for having me here.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And to all the guys out there, this was our third episode of the Hustler Show with Rashi Agarwal, the recent inclusion in 40 under 40 list. So a huge shout out to her. And to all the guys out there, please like our video, subscribe to the channel, and share the word to as many people as possible. Thank you so much, Rashi.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
How